Morning, you're taking a look at Viper radar right now. We got a severe thunderstorm warning for Scott County, Logan County. We got coral winds moving through Mansfield right now. 60 miles, reporting at 60, 59, 60 mile an hour. We got storm. Looks like we got strong winds moving through Washburn around 60 mile an hour. Back is done with that coral winds. Back down. Let's see, to our east. It's around 60 mile an hour. We got some strong coral winds near Cecil again from the other storm that produced around 40, 50 mile an hour. This one's producing about same thing near 40, 50. Some spots near 60. Near Charleston, it's going to be around 65 miles an hour, just north of Branch. Near Coxville, it's going to be, looks like that line's now moving near Coxville. It's going to be some strong winds moving through there too. Severe thunderstorm warning here in Johnson County, Ozone, Clarksville. That's the first one. There's another one going to be coming through in probably the next hour or so for y'all. Coral winds moving through there, probably about 55 mile an hour. Southern LaFleur County, Southern LaFleur County is getting hit with this too. The coral wind's not as strong. It's only near about 35 mile an hour. There's one near Bates. Let's see, this is near Highway 80. Winds on this is near about 45 mile an hour. Near Mansfield, you're getting some very heavy rain, some very strong winds near 55 miles an hour. If you're in Washburn right now, do seek shelter, as we are seeing 70 mile an hour indicated winds right now. This is moving through the Washburn area, about to move through Boonville. So I'm going to storm track on this. This will put it in Boonville probably the next 15 minutes. Alright, let's see. So near 70 mile an hour winds near Washburn. Severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County. So this is for 60 mile an hour winds moving to the east at 50 mile an hour. This is near Branch and Cecil. Let's see, that's about 65 mile an hour indicated winds. This will put it in Ozark in about the next 10 minutes. Coal Hill in about 15. So I focused on this one near Washburn. This one near Washburn has some very, very strong winds on it. This will put it in Boonville in about 20 minutes, and in Magazine about 30 minutes. Not Magazine, we'll get this about the next 45 minutes. Like a report of 65 mile an hour winds. This is in Alma. It's like this was measured by a weather station. 65 mile an hour wind gust. Let's see. Looks like we got 28 sustained here. Very strong winds moving through. Ozark's about to get this. Let's see. Looks like as it's moving east, it looks starting to ramp up a little bit. There's some pixels showing around 65 mile an hour. One near 60, just near Cecil and Branch. The heavy rain starting to fall. Let's see if we can find any hail in it. is probably marble size here near Hartford. Boonville is about to get on this with about, they're already getting on it, about 65-mile-an-hour winds. Near Chisholmville, there's core winds probably right now 65 mile an hour. Coxville, there's some near near 50 mile an hour. Now storms are starting to weaken a little bit as they move to our east, but according to my radar, it's starting to weaken to the south near Waldron. The winds now, the strongest winds are near Branch. Let's see. Severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Alright, so this looks to be what's going on right now. Heavy rain still in the Greenwood area. Fortunately, it's done with. Still going to Charleston and Boonville. It's starting for y'all. Alright, we will take a short break and we'll be right back.
Now, so weather cover with Austin Daigle.
Alright. Taking a look back at like the radar as storms are now ending for Crawford County area. Out towards western Sebastian and northeastern LaFleur County. Let's see. Alright. Let's see how tall these storms are. See how much energy they got left. You're probably near 30,000 feet. Let's see. Alright, so some bad storms moving through. Magazine's about to get the storm. About to get this. It's near about 60 mile an hour winds. Paris is about to get this. Core winds. It's like a storm has developed near Paris ahead of this front. It's near 60 mile an hour, as well as a big core wind near just to northeast of Cogsville, about 65, 70 mile an hour winds. Near Altus, about to get about 60 mile an hour winds, and 60 to 65. So this line, so it looks like the storm is weakening down to our south, but there's still some coral winds down to our near near Catherine, Hahn, near Waldron, Highway 20, Highway 80, and then Highway 71. Looking for kinks in the radar for rotation, and there appears to not be any, which is it's good right now. So the strongest part of the storms are in Franklin and Logan County right now. It's near 70 mile an hour near Clarksville. Let's see. So let's look. Besides that, looks like we got some storms starting to form in Northwest Arkansas, West Fork. Looks for nothing right now. Let's see if we can look this. There's the storms that moved through earlier, and then here's that complex that's starting to weaken and die down. It's probably some, now if you're running, with all this rain that's going on, it's probably some flash flooding, so do not drive into flooded roads. Alright. It's like Chisholmville has got this already with about 60 mile an hour winds. Webb City is getting in this storm with about 60 mile an hour winds. So most areas to the north is having about 60 mile an hour winds. Now to our south, the coral winds is not as strong, but there's a few that have about 60 mile an hour winds. Looks like there's a kinky rotation in southern LaFleur County. Let's see. There's some rotation near Safra and Smithville. This is in southern LaPorte County. Like this now moving to Magazine with about 55, 60 mile an hour winds. Paris with about 60, and then Denning with about 65. Clarksville is about to get on this. About 50-mile-an-hour winds. So Mount Magazine's about to get on this. Mount Magazine State Park about the next few minutes. About 10 minutes. About 60-mile-an-hour winds. Here on the north side of Paris, it's a very strong core winds, probably around 70 mile an hour. Stay alert over there. It's like there's some Mount Marble size hail near Boonville. Alright, so let's see if we can pull up one of our iCams, Fort Smith. So let's look from our RDOT cam in Fort Smith where it's calm there. It's cloudy, it's foggy, roads are all wet. It looks like there's some pondings on some of the roads. Not as active as it was a while ago. Storms are ending in Greenwood, Mansfield, and Hartford, Lavaca, and Mulberry. Looks like there's a very, very strong core wind around 75, 80 miles an hour just southeast of Paris, moving towards Subiaco. Are definitely weakening a little bit rain wise. Continues to be thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Alright. Like Subiaco is about to get some very bad winds. Looks like they cleared out the severe thunderstorm warning for us. Sebastian and Franklin, Crawford, Storm's still out in Boonville and Paris, and
Is it over?
yeah, it's over for Greenwood, Backa, Washburn, Mansfield, Midland, Charleston.
Put Raleigh back.
Alright, let's see. See if I can come back to radar. Like this is now entering the Clarksville area with around 55-60 miles an hour winds. Morrison Bluff, Prairie View with about 65 miles an hour. Our Waveland with about 55 miles an hour. Just now moving through Waldron. Not as strong, probably about 45 mile an hour winds. Looks like it's done for some of our area. It looks like it's done for Charleston, Greenwood, Fort Smith, Lavaca, Alma, Van Buren. It's done to our west. It's just moving through our east. Okay, let's see. So there's strong winds near Prairie View, probably about 60 miles an hour. So moving towards Russellville, near Danville. So the whole line itself looks to be weakening, even though there's still line of severe thunderstorm warnings. There's probably for some strong winds indicated. Hey, look at that. The first one this morning to now, and that big line that's moving through. And it looks to be it right now. So here's the strongest area of winds is heading towards Russellville right now, heading down Highway 22 with about 75 mile an hour winds. Very strong. Whew. It's a tiring morning. Some strong winds near Potter and Mina. Only about 40 mile an hour. Near Bowles, it's about 50 mile an hour. But yeah, it looks like the strongest winds are in Johnson County right now. In Logan and Johnson County. Probably just Logan. With about 75 mile an hour winds. So let's get a live look from our